So far, we've got to be pretty pleased. We're top of the league, end of the year, Christmas. We're all pretty pleased, but we were in this same position last year where we were top of the league. The guys from last year that at least were here last year have got a bit of a bite in their teeth where we really want to right some wrongs. We started off the year with a loss as well, but since then the guys have really turned that around. We've been focused. Everyone's came to training. The commitment from all the guys. There's a lot of games this year. We've played probably more games already than we did for the whole of last season. So it's been a long season already, but we're only kind of just over halfway there. So there's still a hell of a lot to play for. There's been a couple of standout games this year. I think our two in Dundee were really important. They were for double points, so they were massive for us. Most recently, the game away to Kilmarnock. Some might not see it as big a game, but we had numerous guys out with flu. There was guys playing with the flu. I think Jonathan Hogan was sick on the bench before the game. Ben Edmonds was struggling. We had about 3 or 4 guys not able to make it. Guys were away with work. So to be able to go to Kilmarnock, who were on a great run, they just beat both Comets and Capitals, and I was really proud of the guys, every single one of them. I think another big game that we kind of got through was that game against the Caps. It was their first home game back after, I think it was about 3-4. Actually, it was longer than that as the Capitals. Their first game back. It was massive for them. They had a massive crowd, probably one of the bigger crowds, bar ourselves, and even our travelling fans. They came in I think their hundreds as well, and it was a really tough play. It was a tough place to go that night. We powered through that, but you see across the league, teams are starting to bring more and more fans, and it's amazing to see. But the reason for that is the quality on the ice. It's starting to show throughout the league. You can see it. It's pretty even across the board. There's not much difference between any of those teams, and it's still really it's still all to play for. Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate this year. We've been able to start a 19s team, which has only boosted the SNL. We've been able to get in players like Gary Kelly, Jamie Edmonds, and then we've also got Jack Hutton coming through as well. He's looking to come back from injury. So these young guys have really boosted the squad big time. They've played big parts already. And then we've got some more new guys like Josh and Nils, who have played massive parts in a lot of these games. Nils started to come into his own, chipping in with some goals. Josh, especially against that game against Kilmarnock, was lights out. He stood out above the rest. He worked so hard in that game. And then we've got the likes of Bradley and Macaulay, still pretty young guys who have came into the league. This is kind of their first proper taste of the league as a whole, and they've shown they've really came into their own as well. The coaches have been a massive help behind the scenes. Gibby, Fraser, Owen have been instrumental. The likes of Gibby on game days especially, and at training, but mostly on game days, he's helping the guys constantly. The guys absolutely love him as well. There's games where Fraser and Owen haven't been able to make it, so it's just been him and myself. It was him and myself at the Kilmarnock away game, and he's obviously got to try and run a bench along with me, so he's been a massive help. Fraser, you know what you get from him. He's a huge help on the ice because he's got so much experience, but off the ice he's huge with the guys. He's the guy that's kind of chatting to some of the other guys, boosting their confidence, getting their heads up, and really just he's massive on the morale for the team, massive. And then Owen's been instrumental throughout for the SNL for a number of years now. He knows the stuff like the back of his hand now. Yeah, we've kind of not stopped over the Christmas period. We've made sure we've kept ourselves ticking over. We've had a few training sessions. We've even done some online high intensity training, and with Mark Lane coming back after suspension, you can ask him about his Mr. Motivator. Next lot of games, we're coming into, as they call it, the business end of the season. It's going to be really tough. We're going to have to play every single team again, if not more than once. It's going to be a tough run, but we're in the fortunate position that we have beat every team this year. We've beat every team in the league, so there's no reason we can't go and do it again. We've just got to be confident in ourselves to go and keep going every game. I think defensively we've been really disciplined, so it's not even just been in terms of not taking any penalties, it's just being really composed in our own zone, not taking too many chances and too many risks. You look at the stats just now and the goal difference, we're sitting with the least amount of goals against in the league. I think that's a huge credit to likes of Dale and Net for one, and then the D-Corps as a whole. They've been unreal this year. Of the only ones in the SNL actually doing the Pride night, so hopefully we can lead by example and some others will follow suit. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a tie to the LGBT community with the Pride and Grampian Pride. I helped out with their musical acts the other few years back when they hosted their second Grampian Pride, and helped volunteer. My wife and my mother-in-law they've been huge advocates of that for a number of years. It's something we've kind of spoke about as a club for a good few years. Obviously COVID came into the fold, so we weren't able to do anything, but it's really good that we're actually able to do something for the Pride community. You look at the jerseys are looking pretty awesome. I think boys will be pretty happy putting them ones on. And ultimately hockey's for everyone, so we don't want to exclude anyone from the sport. It's done.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.